Extremely dry conditions, they're causing a number of problems, from low reservoir levels to dry farmland to an increased risk of fires. Well, we've got business weather expert Paul Walsh, who joins us now via Skype with his expert analysis on the implications of the current drought. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning, Paul. Now, we've been talking a lot about this drought here in California.
Yep.
To put it in context for everyone, why is the effect of the drought important for everyone across the country?
Well, that's a great question, Alex. And California is the biggest economy in the U.S. It's almost a $2 trillion economy. In fact, it's the 8th largest economy in the world. And so what happens in California has a ripple effect across both our economy in the U.S. and potentially across the global economy. And California really sits on, or the biggest issue for California is water. It's really the lifeblood of that economy. So when we're looking at conditions like we're seeing now, it can become very significant, both in terms of agriculture, but also just in terms of the overall economy of California and the U.S.
Now, of course, we're talking agriculture, certainly at risk with the drought situation out there. Now, are we going to see an increase in prices soon, or is it a little too soon to tell?
I think, Alex, is probably a little bit too soon to tell. There's a lot of component pieces that go into pricing and a lot of different crops. And the thing about droughts is it's a lot more like, to put an analogy around it, like the blob than like Frankenstein. So the effects and the impacts of the droughts take a long period of time to sort of work themselves out. So I don't think we're going to see any immediate impact, but I do think that we probably will see impact from a pricing perspective. As it relates to farmers, I spoke yesterday to Dennis Cooper, who runs Cooper's Farmers Market up in Northern California, and he works with small farmers. And what he tells me is that the farmers he's working with are very concerned, particularly ranchers right now, but because of the fact that they've been in business for so long, they're actually very resilient. So they're confident that they're going to be able to bring the food to the store, as it were. But what we're not confident about is, over time, what the cost will be because of the increased input costs to getting those products into the stores.